afternoon and welcome to Facebook Friday. I'm Lynda from Banjo's Bead House, and with me behind the camera is Mum Denise. Today, as part of Seed Beads September, we are talking about the alternative ways you can use seed beads. We might get to some of the more traditional ones later in the month, but for now we're looking at some of the alternative fun ways you can use them in your everyday beading. So what do I mean by using them in everyday beading? Well, I have got some of the lovely new marble howlite that's just come in, and I wanted to make a necklace with it. But we like making 43 centimetre working with beads to finish off as a 45, and this is a 39 centimetre strand, so I'd have to cut two of them, which means less for everybody else. Instead of that, what we've done is use these lovely precocious size 8 seed beads here, and I've been able to create a finished piece that gets me to my 45 centimetres. It does not destroy the look of the bead, look of the necklace. I think it actually enhances by just adding that little pop of silver. It really brings out the veins in that howlite. So that's one way you can use them. Along the same lines, and using slightly smaller versions, I've been playing around with these metallic glass rondelles that we got in, and I immediately went to the size 11 Delicas because they're one of my favourite things to play with. But as I started working, so if I just pop a Delica onto my jewellery wire, which I actually think I just flung into the air, so we'll try that again. Little Delica. As you can see, it's sometimes sliding into the bead, and of course when I demo it, it's not going to do that, which is exactly what I said to Mum before going live. But it's not giving me a great gap, and in some instances the Delica bead was actually going into the hole. So instead, what we've used is the little rocailles. So this is a slightly bigger bead, and it's just giving me a much nicer presence, as we can see there. But why look at a sample when you can see the finished piece that I've created today? So that's just using the little rocailles as a spacer bead and giving a really beautiful effect to that shimmered piece. Gives the look of knotting without actually having to do all the work of knotting. So that was with size 11s. The first piece we did was a size 8s. So one of the other favourite tricks of mine to use the seed beads for is if you've got a lovely piece of glass. So this is our new silver lined glass, and as you can see I've got one earring made up here. The problem with glass is often your head pin will come all the way through. So for those who missed it, there's my head pin and it's gone all the way through. So to prevent that, it's simply a matter of threading on one of those little beads, making sure I get this lined up the right way. And because I like symmetry, and as you can see if I'm pulling there, it's not coming off because that little seed bead is acting as a nice stopper. Because I like symmetry, I'm putting one on top as well. And to finish, I'm just using our grey looper, which is the 1.5mm loop. And I'm just cutting. There's my little wire offcut. I'm just going in there just to close that completely. Using my chain nose pliers to open, thread on my ear hook and close, and now I have a matching pair of earrings in the new wonderful silver lined lampwork glass we got in this week. So how else can we play with these wonderful little seed beads? Well, in the case of bugle beads, they act as a fantastic little spacer bead. So I'm going to show you how I've created this little set of rosemary earrings. It's just 3 little ones. I often get asked how I've created that perfect space every single time. Well, I cheat. I use a bugle bead. To do that, I thread on my 6mm bead. In this case, I'm using the graphite bicone. Pick up my bugle bead and thread on my bugle bead. Now for this one, I'm actually using the yellow looper, which is the 2.25mm hole. And I thread through, and I'm very careful here because I don't want to crack the top of that bugle bead, so I often leave my fingernail there, and I stop, so it's actually only partially complete. It's not a complete loop. I actually come all across with my round nose pliers and close that one off by hand. That way I avoid breaking the bugle bead, because if you do that, it's start all over. And to get this linked effect, there's my first one, there's my second one threaded up. I'm simply sliding that through and repeating the process of looping that again As you can see, my fingernail is already there in place. Close. Closing that off. Picking up my last one, or if you're doing the necklace version, yeah, you'd have 56 more to go. Oops, get that wire out. And again, fingernail in position just to stop that. And close. And close off there. And all I need to do now is open up my little ear wire. Thread that on. Twist close. And I have another cute little pair of earrings already done. So a bugle bead in this instance is actually giving me a perfect shape every single time, and the loop is making sure that I've got consistency. The reason for the yellow looper is the 1.5mm one won't slide up and down this bugle bead. It gets locked into position and it just makes it not so much fun. I like movement in this piece. So how else can we use seed beads? Well, yesterday I was teaching a leather wrap bracelet class, and we decided to play with these 6-0 bronze Toho beads that we got in. And so as you can see, I'm partway through this piece and I hope to have it finished soon. I'll post a picture up on social media when it is done. But this is just a gorgeous little leather wrap bracelet. So you can see I've got my stack of beads here. All I need to do now is slide one up. Now it's just a matter of going under, pulling that through. Excuse me for coughing. And it's just a simple matter of trapping that seed bead in my leather knots, sliding up and keeping going until I've completed my entire bracelet. So as I said, I'll have that finished and up on social media in the next few days. But there's just a fun couple of ways of using seed beads as alternatives to the traditional hand sewing. And I look forward to seeing you next Friday for Facebook Friday. See you then. Bye.